The International Building Code addresses the heights of receptacles and switches in a handicap-accessible dwelling. Receptacles should be placed between 15 inches and 48 inches from the floor, measured from the center line of the receptacle box. Light switches should be 48 inches or less from the floor, measured from the top of the operating handle. These heights are intended to provide accessibility for individuals with disabilities, including those who use wheelchairs. The National Electrical Code does not specifically address the heights of receptacles and switches in handicap-accessible dwellings. However, Article 210.70 of the National Electrical Code requires that all electrical outlets be accessible. In addition to the International Building Code requirements, several other considerations should be made. Firstly, receptacles and switches should be placed within easy reach of individuals with disabilities. Secondly, ground fault circuit interrupter receptacles should be used in all bathrooms, kitchens, and other areas where water is present. Thirdly, receptacles and switches should be clearly labeled to indicate their function. Fourthly, receptacles and switches should not be placed too close to doors where they could be obstructed. Fifthly, receptacles and switches should be mounted securely to the wall or other surface. The key considerations for receptacle and switch placement in accessible dwellings revolve around usability and safety. Accessibility guidelines like those from the Americans with Disabilities Act often mirror and expand upon the International Building Code to ensure inclusive design. The height ranges specified for receptacles, 15 to 48 inches, accommodate a wide range of users, including those in wheelchairs. The lower limit allows for easy reach, while the upper limit prevents excessive stretching. For switches, the 48-inch maximum height ensures that controls are easily operable by individuals with limited reach. While the National Electrical Code doesn't dictate specific heights, its mandate for accessibility underscores the importance of considering users with disabilities during electrical installations. The National Electrical Code focuses more on the safety and functionality of electrical systems, while the International Building Code ensures that the built environment is accessible to everyone. Electrical codes mandate that all outlets should be readily accessible, regardless of height. Beyond these code requirements, consider the user experience. Strategically placing receptacles and switches in accessible locations enhances the usability of the space for all occupants. Ground fault circuit interrupter receptacles are essential in wet locations to prevent electrical shock hazards. These devices quickly cut off power when a ground fault is detected, significantly reducing the risk of injury. Clear labeling of receptacles and switches helps users easily identify their functions. This is particularly important for individuals with cognitive or visual impairments. Avoiding placement of receptacles and switches near doors prevents accidental obstruction and ensures that they remain accessible at all times. Secure mounting is crucial for safety and durability. Loose or poorly mounted devices can pose hazards and may not function properly. Consider the overall layout of the space when determining the placement of receptacles and switches. Arrange furniture and fixtures to ensure that electrical devices are easily accessible and not blocked by obstructions. Consult with accessibility experts or occupational therapists for guidance on designing accessible electrical systems. These professionals can provide valuable insights and recommendations based on individual needs and preferences. Keep up to date with the latest codes and standards related to accessibility and electrical safety. Building codes and electrical regulations are subject to change, so it is important to stay informed of any updates. The minimum mounting height for electrical receptacles is generally dictated by accessibility standards to accommodate individuals with disabilities, especially those using wheelchairs. The range typically falls between 15 and 48 inches above the finished floor. This height allows for easy reach and usability without requiring excessive bending or stretching. The maximum height for switches is also influenced by accessibility guidelines. Switches should be mounted no higher than 48 inches above the finished floor to ensure that they are within reach for individuals with limited mobility or those using wheelchairs. While the National Electrical Code does not explicitly specify mounting heights for accessibility, it emphasizes the importance of accessible design. The National Electrical Code requires all electrical outlets to be readily accessible, implying that their placement should consider the needs of individuals with disabilities. In addition to accessibility requirements, electrical codes also address safety considerations for receptacle placement. Receptacles should be located in areas where they are protected from physical damage and moisture. Ground fault circuit interrupter receptacles are mandatory in damp or wet locations such as bathrooms and kitchens to prevent electrical shock hazards. Mounting heights for electrical receptacles and switches must comply with both accessibility and safety standards. The goal is to provide convenient and safe access to electrical power for all users, regardless of their physical abilities. When designing electrical layouts, it is crucial to consult with accessibility experts and electrical contractors to ensure compliance with all applicable codes and regulations. Accessibility experts can provide guidance on optimal placement of receptacles and switches to meet the needs of individuals with disabilities. Electrical contractors can ensure that all electrical work is performed safely and in accordance with electrical codes. Consider the specific needs of the occupants when determining mounting heights for receptacles and switches. Some individuals may have unique requirements or preferences that should be taken into account. Document all receptacle and switch locations on electrical plans to ensure consistency and accuracy during installation. Regular inspections of electrical systems can help identify any potential accessibility issues and ensure that receptacles and switches are properly maintained. Educate building occupants about the location and operation of electrical devices, especially those with disabilities. Promote awareness of accessibility guidelines and encourage feedback from users to improve the usability of electrical systems. Accessibility standards for receptacle and switch mounting heights are designed to create inclusive environments that accommodate the needs of all individuals. By adhering to these standards and considering the specific needs of occupants, it is possible to create electrical systems that are both safe and accessible. The Americans with Disabilities Act provides detailed guidelines for accessibility in buildings and facilities. The Americans with Disabilities Act standards cover a wide range of elements, including receptacle and switch mounting heights. Complying with the Americans with Disabilities Act ensures that buildings and facilities are accessible to individuals with disabilities. State and local building codes may also have additional requirements for receptacle and switch mounting heights. Check with local authorities to determine any specific regulations that apply to your area. Consider the impact of furniture and fixtures on receptacle and switch accessibility. Ensure that furniture and fixtures do not obstruct access to electrical devices. Provide clear and concise signage to indicate the location of receptacles and switches, especially in large or complex buildings. Incorporate universal design principles into electrical layouts to create spaces that are usable by people of all abilities. Universal design aims to make buildings and products accessible and usable by everyone, regardless of their age, size, or abilities. Conduct regular audits of electrical systems to identify any potential accessibility issues and ensure that they are promptly addressed. Accessibility is an ongoing process that requires continuous monitoring and improvement. By prioritizing accessibility in electrical design, it is possible to create environments that are welcoming and inclusive for all individuals. Remember that the International Building Code and the Americans with Disabilities Act provide minimum requirements for accessibility. Strive to exceed these requirements whenever possible to create truly inclusive spaces. Accessibility is not just a matter of compliance, it is a matter of creating a more equitable and inclusive society. By embracing accessibility in all aspects of design and construction, it is possible to create environments that benefit everyone. Building codes and standards evolve over time to reflect advancements in technology and changes in societal needs. Stay informed of the latest updates to accessibility codes and standards to ensure that your designs are current and compliant. Accessibility is a shared responsibility. Everyone involved in the design and construction process has a role to play in creating accessible environments. Work collaboratively with architects, engineers, contractors, and accessibility experts to ensure that accessibility is considered throughout the entire design and construction process. Accessibility is an investment in the future. By creating accessible environments today, you are making a positive impact in the lives of people with disabilities and ensuring that your buildings and facilities are usable for generations to come. The goal is to ensure electrical safety and accessibility for everyone. Remember to install ground fault circuit interrupter protection where needed, especially near water sources. Clearly label all switches and receptacles. Securely mount all electrical devices to prevent hazards. Regularly inspect electrical systems to ensure they are in good working order. Provide adequate lighting in work areas to improve visibility and reduce the risk of accidents. Keep electrical cords and wires organized to prevent tripping hazards. Use surge protectors to protect electronic equipment from power surges. Educate occupants about electrical safety practices. Never overload electrical circuits. Turn off lights and appliances when not in use to save energy. Report any electrical problems to a qualified electrician immediately. Do not attempt to repair electrical problems yourself unless you are a qualified electrician. Follow all electrical codes and regulations. Seek professional advice when planning electrical installations or repairs. Electrical safety is a critical aspect of building design and maintenance. By following these guidelines, you can help create a safe and accessible environment for everyone. The National Electrical Code provides comprehensive standards for electrical safety. The National Electrical Code covers topics such as wiring methods, overcurrent protection, grounding, and equipment installation. Complying with the National Electrical Code is essential for ensuring electrical safety. State and local electrical codes may also have additional requirements. Check with local authorities to determine any specific regulations that apply to your area. Electrical inspections are conducted to verify compliance with electrical codes. Schedule regular electrical inspections to identify any potential safety hazards. Electrical maintenance is essential for preventing electrical problems. Perform regular electrical maintenance to ensure that all electrical systems are in good working order. Hire qualified electricians for all electrical work. Qualified electricians have the knowledge and experience to perform electrical work safely and correctly. Do not attempt to perform electrical work yourself unless you are a qualified electrician. Electrical shock can be fatal. Take precautions to avoid electrical shock. To energize electrical circuits before working on them. Use insulated tools and equipment. Wear appropriate personal protective equipment such as gloves and eye protection. Call for help immediately if someone receives an electrical shock. Electrical fires can cause serious damage. Take precautions to prevent electrical fires. Install smoke detectors and fire extinguishers. Do not overload electrical circuits. Keep flammable materials away from electrical equipment. Call the fire department immediately if there is an electrical fire. Electrical safety is a shared responsibility. Everyone has a role to play in preventing electrical accidents. Report any electrical hazards to the appropriate authorities. Educate others about electrical safety practices. By working together, we can create a safer environment for everyone. The principles of universal design aim to create environments that are usable by people of all abilities to promote accessibility, safety, and usability.